Hi everyone, we are here today with the amazing Chelsea Clinton, Vice Chair of the Clinton Foundation, to discuss CGIU in its 10th year. Thank you so much for being here, Chelsea.
Oh, thank you, and thank you to Mogul for being interested in our work and for helping to highlight some of the remarkable young people who are not only going to make a difference, but are already real leaders in making a difference today. So just thank you so much.
Oh, no, well, you're so welcome. It's really an honor to collaborate, and the students that we've gotten to talk to are just phenomenal. It's the amazing stories. So to start with that, why do you feel in 2017 in particular it's so important for students to become involved with CGIU?
Well, I would say it's important for students to get involved. You know, I certainly hope that for students who kind of have a clear view of the problem they want to tackle, and may have a sense of how to do that, but aren't quite sure that they really will think of coming to CGIU. Because I think the process of going through applying and having to articulate a commitment to action, being super specific about the challenge that you want to solve, being super clear about how you're going to measure progress against that challenge, having done a real landscape study so you know that you're doing something that no one else is doing, so you're not replicating, you're not being redundant, you're really kind of providing a new answer to a specific challenge that really then has the potential to make a positive impact, whether that's recycling on your campus, or tackling gender-based violence in Pakistan, or equipping rangers in Benin to combat poaching, or helping women in Uganda who are homeless to have kind of a path to success. I mean, those are just a few of the examples of commitments that have brought students to CGIU that we know are making a difference because they had a clear sense of what they were doing and how they were going to do it, as well as obviously a profound reason why.
And so I would say, pertaining back to how you said making an impact, looking back over the past 10 years, what have been your favorite moments, most memorable moments of students from CGIU making an impact on the world?
Well, I am so really just grateful to have this privileged position to get to meet so many different student commitment makers, because I get the chance of being in different sessions, being in different kind of moments, so I hear, I think, more stories than maybe other people get the chance to hear. And I have just this deluge of memories kind of pulsating around when you ask that question, of kind of hearing kind of the young woman who talked about kind of when she was able to really provide the mentorship that she wanted in her refugee camp in Uganda, or kind of the young man who I think you had the chance to meet earlier, Sixto, when I first met him a handful of years ago. And he had just come out of the foster care system. He was a student at Virginia Commonwealth University, and he had this just deep, abiding sense that if no one else solved the problems that he had encountered when he was aging out of the foster care system and there not being resources for him, if he didn't solve that for other young people in our country, he didn't think anyone else was going to. And now fast forward, he's here, he's built a whole technological platform. They're rolling it out next month in Nebraska. They've already piloted in parts of California. They're going to pilot again in New York soon. So it's the moments of oh my gosh, listening to these young people talk about when they really started to see their work, and also now having one of the privileged position of a few years of knowing students who remain active in our community, seeing their work evolve and taking them places they couldn't have even imagined to have an impact, far outpacing what kind of any of us would have hoped, but we're all really grateful and excited to see.
Well, it's so cool, and it's inspiring to see, how their impact will encourage kids out there to get involved, of course.
And that we're already kind of seeing those connections happen, and really have been now for a number of years, so that the students who are working kind of in one area, whether it's education or it's kind of health technology innovation, are often now being mentored by CGI students from 6, 7, 8 years ago.
That's cool.
Which is really cool. What's also really cool is I was on a panel earlier with the head of the Nature Conservancy, and he was telling me that one of the CGIU students that he met a couple of years ago, who was doing drone-based kind of ecological survey work in Vietnam, that the Nature Conservancy acquired his company, and now he and the few employees that he had now work for the Nature Conservancy. So there are also like these amazing connections that catalyze kind of collaboration and kind of deeper work that you could never plan for, and are so exciting to see.
It's really wonderful. And so for our final question, looking ahead now, beyond these 10 years, where do you envision CGIU heading? What would the dream be?
Oh goodness. Well, I think the dream is to continue to provide a platform that students feel is as relevant as we hear students find it today. A series of tools and resources to help students kind of take ideas out of their head or from their heart and really kind of build action plans to guide their work. We're really grateful that over the last few years we've been able to secure more funding support for commitments so that student commitment makers can hopefully find funders who really resonate with what they're trying to do, and so continuing to build that pipeline of financial support as well as just exposure to NGOs and others who can mentor and partner, kind of facilitate to ensure that student commitment makers have a range of opportunities to deepen and further their work. And one of the things that we're focused on moving forward is how to help universities build those communities internally to themselves, so that even if students don't come to CGIU, kind of democratizing and making accessible not just the ethos but the real kind of mechanisms of the commitment process, the discipline of the commitment process, so that student changemakers who may never come to CGIU still can be more effective changemakers on their campuses is something else we're continuing to focus on and to work with our CGIU community so that they can really not just be the ambassadors, but the kind of the leaders and the catalysts on their own campuses and in their own communities to help anyone, kind of going back to your first question, who really kind of wants to make a difference now, realize this is a tool to really help them make the maximum difference that they feel called to make.
I think it's wonderful. Well, it's so exciting to see how far it's come in this 10 years, and it's really exciting to see where it will go. So thank you so much for the work that you do. And you're so welcome. Thank you. We'll have a thank you fest, I feel like.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for being here, and we can't thank you enough, and I know this will be a hugely inspirational interview for our global community of women. So thank you very much again.